How y'all doing? It's been a while since I've done my last installment of this. My life in a small town. It's January the 16th, Friday. My birthday was 2 years ago too. It was 2 days ago. I turned years old. Yeah, I did. So I've had on my jobs my very first girlfriend. So today's installment is on my coaching. And when I was in school, especially junior high school, back then they had track. My brother got me interested in it. You know, I tried basketball and baseball and all that, and I was scared of the baseball. I was afraid they was going to hit me with that baseball. It'd be like shooting a cannon out at you. So I didn't do the baseball because I was afraid of it. I could catch and everything. I could do everything there was to be done, but I was scared of that ball. And that don't work playing baseball. So, basketball, you know, they got all these plays and stuff that is involved with basketball. And I didn't want to learn no plays. I just wanted to shoot. Give me the ball and let me shoot. I didn't want to know about no defense or plays or anything. But since then, I've learned better. Okay? My son, George, my youngest son, very good athlete. He played the football. I put both of them in, Brad and George in. But George, he was pretty much a athlete. And so I put him in football, and after about 2 games, this is back when the 5-year-olds actually played with 8-year-olds. And there's a big difference there, you know. 5 years old and 8 years old, big difference. But after the second game in Toy Bowl, they started him because they played him outside linebacker, a 5-year-old playing outside linebacker. But you know what? He wasn't afraid to tackle. I mean, he'd jump right in there and tackle, and I think in Toy Bowl he ended up getting like 3 or 4, no, I believe it's 3 championships. 2 championships in the junior, and one in the senior division of Toy Bowl. And we should have won the very last one, but I think the boys was, you know, they tore everybody up. Everybody they played, they tore them up, and I think they was just ready for it to be over. So the last game, they didn't play very well. He played football all that time. When he turned 8 years old, I put him in baseball. Nobody knew him. You know, they get them boys all the way from what they call rag ball, t-ball, and they move up from there. And nobody knew him. He was very good, and the team that he was on wasn't very good coaches, and you know, didn't know the game that well, and the players that the boy had wasn't very good. But everybody else seen that he could play. When it came time for All-Stars, he wasn't picked because they didn't know him. So this guy from Curry, he started a 3rd team in All-Stars. You know, usually you just get 2 teams. Barely get 2 teams. Well, this guy from Curry, he put together a 3rd team. We put the 1st team out. We put the 2nd team out. They had like $120 uniforms. We had a $30 uniform. I think it cost $28 and something. So The next year, he was picked because everybody knew him by then. He could pitch like crazy. So, he was on this team the first year of 9 and 10-year-olds. And everybody kind of got mad at the coach. And by this time, I'm learning the game pretty well. I didn't know all the Dizzy Dean rules or anything, but you know, the more you stay in it, the more you learn, and the more you learn what to do and everything, and I did that. So, all the parents wanted me to coach the next year, which would be my son's 10-year-old year. So I put together a team and coached all the way up till, I either coached or helped somebody coach all the way up till he was into high school, really. You know, the high school team had a team out then, and we went to the World Series and came in second. We was the Alabama state champs and went out there and come in second out of 60-something teams. It was in Starkville, Mississippi. So I was helping a guy coach football also. Enjoyed that, and I learned a lot about the game. Jerry, you know, I helped him in baseball too. Jerry Gordon, very knowledgeable in baseball. Enjoyed my time with him. He's very, very good coach. And helped him in football. Basketball, I coached basketball all the way up. At one time, I even had 2 teams. I had like a 3rd and 4th grade team and a 5th and 6th grade team. And I just let the boys have fun, you know. When they in school, coach gets on to them all the time. You ain't doing that right. The hollering, screaming. So I kind of figured during the summer, when they play, that I just let them have fun. I'd teach them the game. Don't worry about it. Just have fun. So that's basically what I done, and I actually got better results than the school coaches did. I could do better. I reckon that took the, you know, where they wasn't afraid to do something off, and they played better. I coached a while, enjoyed. The Lord had some good teams in baseball. I went out and actually recruited. I would go get a stack of those cards, at registration cards. I'd take it to my boys because I didn't want nobody else getting them. I had like 5 or 6 pitchers, and that's what you got to have. Really good pitchers. I'm not talking about just pitchers. I'm talking about I had really, really good pitchers. So I did that, and I'd take it back to the park and rec and say, here's my team. And I pretty well got the same teams everywhere. And if I played somebody and I seen a really good player on somebody else's team, you know, and this is what I done. And all you new coaches, y'all can do this too. God, I got a blind spot right there. What I done was find that good player and find out who their parents was. And I would go stand and watch that team play and stand by their parents. And I'd be looking at them, I'd say, oh, that's all I need. That's all I need is a hind catcher. That's all I need is another outfielder, and my team will be complete. I wish I knew whose son that was. And naturally they'd say, oh, that's my son. Oh, really? Man, if I had him, we'd have it all. And I'd get that player. I had players from Corner. I had players from Carbon Hill. Had some from Jasper. Coached, it usually came down in the All-Stars after we got on up. It came down to Curry and me, my team. So naturally, me and Chuck Elliott from Curry, we would put our teams together. Because it always came down to us anyway, so we got the best players off of those teams, and we went to the All-Stars. Football, in Toybo, we won I think 5 championships in Toy Bowl. That's when they even came out with that Super Bowl, they call it. You know, back NCAA had like 16 teams, and they'd have 8 teams in one, 8 teams in another one, and they call one American League, and the other one, that's the old house, and the other one National League. They didn't ever play each other. They done it that way where there'd be 2 champions, where everybody'd have a chance to be a champion, at least 2 champions out of 16 teams. And that's why they done that, and that was cool. But right there at the last, they wanted those 2 champions to play each other, and they called it a Super Bowl. I used to have a cousin that lived right here on the right. You can't see it right here. But anyway, we won both of those while my son was in there. We won both of those. We ended up both times playing Northside. Northside was in the American League, we was in the National League, and they kept telling us, all the people in the American League, they ain't no way you gonna beat them, because they was tearing everybody up in their league. They ain't no way you gonna beat them. They're too good. And we beat them both times. The first time like 24-0, second time 26-0. Second time we played them, they didn't have not one first down the whole game. Not one. We played them down at Cordova. Dreary, kind of misty day. I've got it on tape, matter of fact. Basketball, my first and second graders, I had them doing a 3-man weave going down the court to warm up. A lot of them older coaches, like 5th and 6th grade, couldn't get their players to do that. And I had my first and second graders doing a 3-man weave. And I remember this one time, one of them coaches, I don't remember which one it was, came over to me. And he said, "How do you get them little old boys to do that?" He said, "I can't get mine to do that 3-man weave." I told him, I said, "It's simple. You just, the one you throw it to, you go behind him after you get to throw it to him. It's that simple. You throw it to him, then run behind him. All the way down the court. Throw it to him, go behind him. That's what you do." And I would, actually put music on. Them little first, second graders love this. Put music on back when a serious song came on. And I'd have them come out and start doing a 3-man weave. It was real cool. The little kids loved that. And basketball, I coached that all the way up. Baseball, my Lord, I coached it all the way up, man. We came up with this, and they still this team around today, and we came up with this team. And we called it the Thunder. I remember we met, several of us coaches met at the, what is that? Zaxby's in Jasper. And we went over names for the team, and what we was going to do. And it ended up, it was called, start with Tri-County Thunder. Because it was Jefferson, Blunt, and Walker, I think. I think that's the way it went. And we're the ones that came out with the Thunder. And that Thunder team is still out today, and this happened a long time ago. And we even got tired of the NCAA football toy bowl. So we started a new league in that called the I think it was called Tri-County League. It was TFL, Tri-County Football League. And we did that. Matter of fact, we was in that my son's last year in Toy Bowl. It was Adamsville, several of us in it. And I think they've got back in the NCAA now. Hayden was in it. So that was my coaching career, and I was more of a motivator. Bear Bryant, he wasn't a very good player. I mean, he is mediocre at best. But he ended up being one of the best coaches because, he used that right there, and he could get 100% out of the players. And I kind of feel like, that's where I was good at. I really wasn't good as a head coach. I was good at more of a motivator. And I learned a lot from Jerry Gordon. He was in baseball and football. He was the best. He was real knowledgeable on how to coach it and how to have sportsmanship. The other team would be and back and forth, and our boys would want to. And Jerry would get them in the dugout and say, listen, don't do that. Beat them on the field. That's the way to shut them up. And he's right. And I learned a lot from Jerry. Appreciate it, Jerry Gordon. So that was my coaching career. I'm up here, and y'all don't forget to watch my TV show. I'm fixing to put it back on the air. I don't know what station yet, but I'll let you know. It's ams-tv.com. It's about local musicians, bands, and songwriters here in Alabama. So don't forget to watch that. And actually, these segments right here is on that same show. Just go to the playlist and look for My Life in a Small Town, and you'll find it. And there's several in there. And I also watch the TV shows with all those bands and stuff. So that's about all I got about my coaching. I ended up coaching a little bit of the B team football. I'm in one of their annuals to help coach their B team in high school. So been doing it, learned a lot from different coaches, from Chuck Elliott, Jerry Gordon, a lot of good coaches out there, and really that's the problem they've got with park ball right now. And what they need to do is the park system, they need to have a what do you call it, for the coaches. Let the coaches, the park system needs to say, this is what we want y'all to do. Because honestly, it's, if you tell a kid the wrong thing and they get hurt real bad, that coach is responsible for that kids. So they got to teach them the right thing. And from what I saw, I've tried to help a couple of teams, and what I saw, they don't warm up, they don't warm their muscles up before a game. All they do is get out there and try to throw the ball back and forth, and then they end up running the ball more than they do throwing it. Coach is over there sitting on his tail. There's no really good coaches, and they need to have have something for the coaches before the season starts to show the coaches what to do. I know there ain't enough coaches, but you can teach the ones that wants to do it and got time to do it. You can tell them, listen, this is what we need to do. This is the rules. You need to play the players. I always played every player on my team. I don't care if it was a win or lose. We're talking about park ball here, people. All you parents, you need to get a grip on it. I know you want to cheer on your child and the team and everything, but listen, this is park ball. This is for fun. They get a trophy at the end of it. Why? Because they participated in park ball. Not because they was the best player or anything like that. They participated in park ball. So leave them coaches alone. Have a I'm lost for a word here. Have something. Park ball needs to teach the coaches before the season, even in football and baseball, even basketball. Listen, these kids needs to warm up their muscles before they get on that field. Their legs, their arms. Listen, if you throw a rotator cuff out and it's because the coach didn't do something right, he's responsible for that. So is the park system. So you got something to say about them if they do the wrong thing. But if they warm up and still throw it out, You know, he just threw it out. You taught him the right thing to do. They warmed up and still throwed it out. You're not responsible. But if you do something wrong, coaches, you know, they can sue you. If it's something really, really bad, they can sue you. Them parents can sue you. They can sue the park system for letting you mess with their kids. So, park systems, you need to get a grip on this thing and teach your coaches. Because most of the coaches I saw didn't have a clue what the game was all about. They get out there, from what I saw, teaching them the wrong things. And you need to get somebody that's knowledgeable. You know, one coach that I saw that's really, really good, and he played Dora High School, and he's coaching now. I think he's coaching 11 and 12. Joy Eustace, really good coach. I wouldn't mind helping him because he's real knowledgeable about the team. You know, he knows the game for sure. So if Joy Eustace is one of the good coaches. But that's all I got to say. That was my, you know, I'm not comparing myself to Bear Bryant or anything, but you know, Bear, he had a knack for getting 100% out of his kids, and he could motivate them in enough to do that. And I kind of feel like that was my, you know, I didn't know that much about it. You know, what I know now is what I learned off of Jerry and Chuck and some of the really good, you know, watching other people. I watch and learn, you know, from the good guys. Jerry was really good. He got them kids out there. He made them run the bases and get in shape. He warmed them up. He didn't even have to be out there. He put them in a circle and gave each one of them a exercise to do. He gets in the middle. They all do that exercise. Then he comes out. Another one gets in there and does another one. So everybody was involved. He done little signs even when they was young, and indicators and all that, and that was cool. And them kids love that. It's getting them ready for high school. And to be frank with you, they might not be 2 or 3 of those kids in park ball make it to high school ball. So, you know, that's why park ball is basically for fun, okay? Alright, that's about all I got. That was my coaching. I coached all 3 of them. Enjoyed every bit of it. And a lot of kids, like AJ Pruitt, he says I'm the best basketball coach that ever was. A lot of the other coaches, they wouldn't let him shoot 3-point shots because he was a big boy. But he could ring them 3-point shots, and I let him do them. Because, hey, he could ring them. Why keep somebody down that can hit a 3-point shot? So I let him shoot them, and he did make them. And AJ, he's a good one, and I had some good teams in my time. Had a good team one time that didn't win a game. Not one game. Why? Because they had fun. They said that was the best time they ever had. Alright, that's all I got. Appreciate y'all watching. I don't know what the next segment's going to be. I didn't look. But that was my coaching in park ball and all, and it was fun. Enjoyed it, and hope them kids enjoyed it. Hope I made a difference in them. And see y'all on the next segment. Bye-bye.